The Born J Artistry today organized a symposium on sustainable fashion in the context of Naga clothing and textile industry at Hotel Kairos, Dimapur. Resource person Jasmina, Zeliang, founder of Heirloom Naga, while speaking at the program, raised a concern on many Nagas quickly adapting Western culture while overlooking the unique beauty of our traditional attires. She also said that the local weavers and designers should give their works contemporary narratives.
There was this customer of mine. I was already working with her. She came and she looked around and she just flailed her hands and she thought, oh, I love all these Naga textiles, but I'm not going to buy. I said, why? You know, I was like very offended. And she said that it is screaming of tribal from 1 mile. I said, oh, really? So, you know, we need to work with trends. Just because I like it, you like it, she likes it, doesn't mean that an international customer is going to accept it wholeheartedly. We need to give it a contemporary narrative to whatever we have. Only then we will be able to enter this sector. There is a very strong and conscious movement globally to support and subscribe to processes and practices, particularly of indigenous communities, which cause least harm to our environment. And this is exactly where we fit in. Scope, SCOPE, is staring at us. And this is precisely the reason why we must all make a collective effort to join this global shift and global movement. So again, I'm very happy that Born J Artistry, with the patronage of DAFMA, has brought this together, first of its collaboration and partnership.
But one thing I want to ask from one of your statements is you called, especially the current youths as culture vultures, ma'am. So, like one thing is, do you think they need to be inspired or do you think they themselves need to look out for it?
I said that because I think our youth are losing their identities, and I feel that we are delving too much into other cultures instead of looking into our own backyards. There's so much cultural wealth that we have at our disposal, and yet we try and ape other cultures, and this is, I think, a time of reckoning for the young people especially, and they must make use and encash on the cultural wealth that we have at our disposal and transform them into a commercial wealth.
Okay, ma'am. So we have seen a lot of your success stories being projected there in the screen, and also the Beverly Hills thing also, which I, quite caught my eye, ma'am. So you have come this far, and you yourself is like an inspiration to the designers, like people like them, and also the youths who are aspiring to be like you. We have seen them inside also, ma'am. So what would you say is your secret of, coming and standing here this far, ma'am?
I think we have to find our own USP. We have to be constantly evolving and trending in the market, and we need to have our own identity in whatever we are offering.
Ma'am, and also you have used a word, like deficit, ma'am. So in your times you say that you hear a lot about, products of deficit or raw materials deficit, ma'am. So you were speaking about your times. So, ma'am, now do you think Nagaland has enough, ma'am?
I don't think so yet. I think there is a lot of infrastructure deficit still. But I think that awareness is there. The awareness that there is a market outside the state, and the awareness that this is a sector which can impact a lot of livelihood, and hence, instead of constantly looking at our deficits or deficiencies, I think we must try to march ahead And if we help ourselves, only then others will help us too.
So, ma'am, you have women and also male gender also, I believe, working under you, ma'am. And how many people right now are working under you? How many people have you employed, ma'am? And also people like you who are owning, like different types of business and having a large scale. What would be your advice when it comes to the employment in a state like Nagaland, where unemployment among the youth is one of the highest, ma'am?
I think we are not paying too much attention to this sector. In our own quiet way, we are providing direct employment and continuity of work to more than 450 home-based weavers. And additionally, since we are also into crafts in a very large way, we are also working with more than 300 plus male artisans. So this sector, as I mentioned, is the largest non-farming sector, and it is the second largest generator of employment in the country. And I wish that we would look at this sector more seriously, give it more importance, and truly realize the soft power that it has.
All right, ma'am. So lastly, what would you say about the people aspiring to become like you, especially the youths who are here to listen to you today and people who are inspired by you, ma'am?
It's good to be an inspiration, but I think we must all find our own identities in whatever we do. And for that, I think the youth here are very, 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 very extremely, I will keep saying that, extremely talented. There is no dearth of creativity and innovation in our youth of today. And I wish that they would use these human capacities that they have to the fullest extent.